Welcome to the tutorial on how to edit your Astro time-lapse captured with LUMILAPSE on your Mac or PC with LR Timelapse. First step, create a folder on your computer and copy your time-lapse sequence from your iPhone across to the computer. Now, let's open LR Timelapse. You may notice I'm currently running LR Timelapse version 6 as I have a licensed version. The latest version is version 7, which looks similar yet slightly more modern, so everything shown in this tutorial should still translate well. First, navigate in the Explorer panel to your folder of your Astro Timelapse sequence of images. Once the folder is selected, LR Timelapse will start to load previews of these images. Once loaded, you should be able to play back the time-lapse to see what it looks like before we start to edit. Now click on the button Keyframe Wizard to start to create keyframes in your image sequence. Change your slider to the desired keyframe selection and hit Save to continue. The more keyframes you create, the more control you'll have between the changes from one image to the other. For this tutorial, I'll create 2 keyframes, one at the start and one at the end of the image sequence. Now for the fun part, the editing. First step in the editing process is our white balance. Select Custom to alter the temperature of our image sequence. We want to ensure it's a cooler blue hue while trying to maintain a natural balance of colours. Once your temperature is set, we can start tweaking all our faders. I'll speed this part up for the sake of time, as a lot of these are down to your editing style. Once you're happy with the edits in your first keyframe, you can select the first arrow to the right-hand side to copy the edits over to the next keyframe at the end of the sequence. We can then use the far left and right arrows to navigate between the 2 keyframes, making any tweaks required to try and match the 2 as close as possible. Once you're happy with the edits in your keyframes, click the button Auto Transition. This will start to apply all these tweaks to all the images in the image sequence, smoothing out the changes between the keyframes. You can now play back the time-lapse sequence to see where we're at. The next step is the visual deflicker. This will smooth out some of the flickering between the frames in your time-lapse. I find for this tutorial, enabling the constant box provides the best overall deflickering results. This is to taste, and I suggest enabling the multi-passed flicker box to the right and increase the amount of passes. Once this is completed, we can view back our time-lapse again for a smoother overall experience. Now you are completed, you can export and render to the selected folder you wish to save your video file to. Select the H.264 MP4 codec and full HD 1080 option. There are several quality selections, but I find most of these options are best kept at the default if you are sharing online, and if you want to save the video for later, select it at its highest quality. Now you're ready to start exporting your Astro time-lapse. Select Export and Render. This will take some time, but once completed, will open up a window with your awesome exported Astro time-lapse video. Hope this tutorial was helpful and wish you all the best with your Astro time-lapse adventures, all captured with LUMILAPSE.